Well, good morning, it's Adil Fazal here, market analyst at CFDs.com, bringing you a review of European markets on the Friday, the 4th of December 2015. Okay, let's try and decipher exactly how this market is trading today. Okay, so the Asian markets obviously followed the route that was obviously started in Europe, carried on into America, and passed on to Asian markets or Asian session. Now the Hang Seng and the Shanghai, yes, they were down, but not as considerably as thought. And the Nikkei was down quite substantially, almost 2% plus. Okay, so a risk-off session obviously carried on over Asia, but the European markets certainly have stabilized. Now this video is being brought to you by CFDs.com, leading CFD brokerage. Be sure to visit www.cfds.com and certainly apply for the 25% bonus. Alternatively, you can visit the educational site www.cfds.education. Okay, now the whole game or the whole trading basically is currently, or trading sentiment or market momentum is basically revolved around the Euro USD. And as you can see, the bond is currently, German bond is now currently holding support at this key diagonal trend line, and obviously 200 MA as well. If we can hold this support for today, then European markets certainly have a chance of rebounding and moving higher, so bear that in mind. Okay, now in terms of the actual Euro USD, let's bring that up for you. Okay, so Euro USD certainly has found resistance at the 1.0980, stayed below that 1.01 crucial level. Okay, in terms of the actual price action, you can see previous obviously support equals resistance. We did have a pivot high of 1.0980. Now interesting to see. Okay, now the euro itself has remained subdued this morning, given the fact that we had weaker German inflation data, although we did have German data in terms of retail sales, if I can recollect correctly. Let me just bring up the economic data again. Now we had German factory orders, so German factory orders actually came out stronger than expected, came in at 1.8%. Overnight we had Japanese consumer confidence certainly better than expected as well. German construction data as well certainly came out slightly on the stronger side overall this morning. So the only negative real news in terms of the market was the actual retail or PMI. German construction PMI actually came out better. The German retail PMI and the Eurozone and French retail PMI all came out weaker than expected. So that certainly has dragged on the market so thus far. Okay, it certainly is into a potential risk-off obviously phase. Now the market currently awaits the decision, or not the decision, but the economic data from the US, the NFP data. So again, jobs, hourly earnings, average hourly earnings will be very important. Average weekly hours as well, very important. So basically employment data. And that obviously justifies whether or not Miss Yellen obviously hikes or not. So again, she has said, according to her own words, that the data, economic data tomorrow, or today should we say, will be very important in terms of her assessing whether the rate hike cycle. Okay, now from my understanding and my perspective, we should expect a stronger economic release out of the US, given the recent economic data have all supported a bullish report. And that obviously will drag the euro lower, and that should give the European market some reprieve, and we should certainly start to move higher. So that's my interpretation thus far. Okay, now this morning we have had news with regards to OPEC potentially cutting as well, so that certainly has helped and underpinned the FTSE 100 and commodities in general. The high price of copper and oil certainly are higher. Okay, now that certainly is bullish for equity markets, and we should we should start to trade higher accordingly. From my understanding, equity should be moving higher, and I have been short along the FTSE all morning. I've just closed one of my positions. I've left the other position active on the Euro stocks, and I am expecting a higher price. Certainly, Euro stocks testing the 3350, 3360, 3370 level, and potentially higher. So equities certainly remain bullish from that perspective. Okay, now in terms of the actual price action, let's just bring the charts up for you. Now the Euro stock certainly remains into support. Previous resistance equals support, horizontal support, 50 MA support on the daily chart, so therefore you are looking at a bullish move. 60-minute chart has held support all morning, so therefore you are looking at a bullish move again. 10-minute chart has your falling contracting wedge pattern, therefore again you are looking for a bullish move higher. Okay, now in terms of the German DAX, has closed that gap and therefore is into gap fill support on the daily chart, so therefore we're looking for a move higher. 60-minute chart, as you can see, again holding horizontal support and gap fill level, therefore expecting higher prices. The 10-minute chart has this falling contracting wedge pattern, again is bullish for the German DAX, and therefore you are looking for higher prices. Now in terms of the actual French CAC, let's bring up the CAC for you. CAC is building a base on the 10-minute chart, as you can see. 60-minute chart is relatively weak, or you did have this key support. You do have key support down here. You have previous resistance equal support as well. So really in no man's land at present in terms of the French CAC. Certainly weaker than other indices. That's basically the summation. So any further fall, you are looking at support down below. Okay, now the actual FTSE 100, yes, we did break out. We're retesting that breakout level on the weekly chart. Daily chart itself, previous horizontal support is seen at the 6240, 6250 level. So again, certainly keep a keen eye on there. 60-minute chart, you have the bottoming tail that's been put in on the FTSE 100. And the 10-minute chart, you have this falling contracting wedge pattern, and you have an unfilled gap above. Okay, so certainly a gap fill level is seen at 6294 on the FTSE 100, so certainly keep a keen eye on there. Okay, now I think that's a market wrap in terms of FTSE. Again, it's all about NFP, and it will be very interesting to see how the markets react. Now, it's all about the euro, bear that in mind as well. So it's how the euro reacts post NFP, and obviously the jobs data obviously signaling potential, indicating or giving a good guidance in terms of rate hike cycle. Okay, I think that's a market wrap. Be sure to visit cfds.com for your trading needs. Good.